Can you see the steam coming off that coffee? That's because it is finally, well, it has been getting colder and colder around here, which is beautiful. It's great, especially when you live in some place where it's normally, you're so used to it being always 100 degrees. So it's nice, but look at that. It's smoking steam coming off of there. We got something really cool to talk about, so I can't wait to dive into it. But anyway, but as usual, I would like to appreciate, send out appreciation to everybody that's watching the videos, commenting on the videos. So we're going to go ahead and roll through your comments right there. So again, if I did not read your comment, couple of things, either because you commented too late, or by the time we filmed this, or your comment was pulled by the moderator of YouTube. So it is what it is. It's just how it works. I have no control of those type of things. So you know, and I noticed that sometimes too, it depends on what you do. If you try to add a link to the video with something else leading to another video or something like that, it's not going to go through. It just won't. All right, so in no particular order, here we go. I have first one up, or your comment was just too crude for school here because we just were not able to read it. Or if you have nothing nice to say about us and what we're doing here, go somewhere else, because we are we do this because we enjoy doing this and talking about this stuff. All right. Dennis Rankin is the one up here. My career as a law enforcement officer from 73 to 76, carried a Smith & Wesson Model 5741 mag, switched to a 1911 that got built in 1917 and carried it until 1987. In the safe now, I paid $125 for it in 76. Thanks, brother. Love your stuff. Thank you. We appreciate that. That's one thing, you know, we appreciate all the love and support that we get doing these, the Collectors Radio and all that. So I do appreciate that. Stephen K, thanks for another great video. Beautiful collection of 1911s. I too love the spur grip safety in a basic 1911. My daily carry is a Springfield Armory mil-spec in 45 ACP. Beretta 9mm USA recommendation of the Core Essential belt, gun belt, got me to try one. Yeah, you know, and I like Beretta 9mm USA, and he's also got another channel, CZ USA 9mm. Check that out. Make sure everybody goes and checks that out. Also, you know what else is a good channel is Trees of Blowing. If you've not tried to check out Trees of Blowing, all kinds of stuff. It's a total grab bag channel. You never know what that guy's going to film next. All right. This belt is rigid enough for me to carry the government model full size, easily concealed, and end up buying 2 more. Stay well. Thanks again. All right. Thank you, Stephen. All right. Slimfire 54. Awesome talk show and great collection 1911s. Love the Wilson Combat 1911. And 2. And thanks for the video, Slim. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome. Lion Quest Fitness. Picked up another RIA full-size GI model. It's a good shooter. Not a Colt or even a Springfield, but it is basic and it runs. They do run. They are, I mean, the people, Rock Island Armory, there's nothing wrong with those guns. All right, after a break-in period, I'm tempted to carry it as concealed carry. Jerry Johnson II, spectacular looking Wilson Combat 1911. I would love to have one in my collection. I myself definitely, that was something on the list, and that was a really hard decision to make. It really, I did kick that around a lot in my head before I actually pulled the trigger on that, pun intended. Nathan Ellison, I absolutely enjoy your videos. Keep up the awesome work, please. Yes, we will, Nathan. As long as we keep going here and we keep getting people that are chiming in, commenting, watching, we will keep doing this. KSFWG, impressive 1911 collection. Thanks. You are welcome. We do, you know, I love 1911s. They're just, you know, something about them. All right, an Angry Ranger. I have only one autoloader in my safe, a 1911 A1 in 45 ACP. An old A1 was my sidearm in SE Asia way back when. After I exchanged a few rounds in anger in those days, I have proved itself to be worthy a weapon. I'll not carry any other autoloader. Wow. Yeah, you know, and I mean, testament to that pistol, I mean, it's been in service since 1911 to like 85, I believe it was. So, All right. Oh, here it is. This is Beretta USA's other channel is CZ 9mm USA. All right. Hey, BATJAC JW coming to you from my second channel. Love your 1911 pistols. That Wilson is just beautiful. I retired from the Sheriff's Office on December 17th, 2022. Good luck with your retirement there, sir. Thank you for all of what you've done in your service and putting your life on the line to keep us safe out there. I really appreciate that. Coming up soon, stay safe. B9 USA Senior. P.S. I will sub to you from this channel too, and stay up with what you're doing, my friend. Yes, and everybody, go check it out. He's got a lot of cool stuff. They have been, him and his son have been my other fellow lefty. They've been my go-to channel for a lot of 1911 action because you get to really see what they do. They're real cut and dry videos. They give you the meat and potatoes of it all. And what I get from them is, what I like is they're just not gonna BS you. If it's crap, it's gonna be crap, and they're gonna tell you. And that's what I like about I love their honesty. All right, my man Joe P. My wife freaked out after seeing the movie Jaws 2. She was still hanging out on the boat, but never go swimming in the ocean anymore. Not unless Roy Scheider's there. All right, the Bohemian Hunting Club. Oh no, a pile of 1911s. A beautiful sight. All right, Panda with guns. A nice collection. You have to try a Les Bear custom. I've seen a few of those, and I am not opposed to a Les Bear. Does make a good 1911 as well. He's definitely up there with one of those. I guess they call it the top names in that area of pistol making. So Snowy Rider SS. Mr. Hackathorn was right about the lightweight commander. So right there, right that I got a Wilson Combat Hackathorn Special Commander lightweight built for me in 38 Super. That must be a nice package too. All right, the Crispy Discount Chicken. Is that mug semi-automatic too? If not, I shall invent one. All right, Hungarian Hillbilly. BATJAC, do you have a 10mm? I do not have a 10mm. I do not. Currently do not. If I did get one, I probably would get a Colt Delta Elite just because of the classicness of it. All right, John R. Anything less than 45 ACP except for 10mm is sacrilegious. Well, opinions vary. All right, AZ Highland Homestead sent over from Santee, my buddy over there at Arizona Ghost Riders. Okay, all right, cool. We got some comments read and everything because we got something really cool to dive in with you guys. Speaking of all the collectors radio and all that, hopefully you checked out some of our other videos that we published out this week before the main channel show here. I had ordered something here, and I got this from Elk County Ammo and Arms in St. Mary's, Pennsylvania. I believe that's where they're at. Anybody that lives out there, these are really good people, honestly. They made my transaction really easily because I went on a search out here and I could not find one, if you can believe that. Well, I could find all types of them, but not this particular one. What we're talking about is, oh my God, Walther PPK. I have been wanting one of these for a while. I finally got a hold of one. And I had to get it from Elk County Guns and Ammo there. First of all, starting off with the box, the cardboard box. I mean, everything about this whole package screams elegance. Walther Arms knocked it out of the park with the remake of this thing. Forever, you could not get a true PPK in the States. You just could not get it. The only way you could get one is if, for one, somebody, I believe also, like even the ones that were under license, Smith & Wesson did them, Inter Arms did them, they were the PPK-S. This here that I have in my possession is the PPK. The real James Bond firearm. And of course, yeah, I think he used the PPK-S later. I think in the Daniel Craig Bonds they used it. I think in Skyfall it even says PPK-S. All right, so then you get the technical. I'm talking when I talk about James Bond. For me, I grew up with Roger Moore. Obviously, Sean Connery, set a bar pretty high. I like Roger Moore and I like Pierce Brosnan. So, okay. This, all the information right here, it's made in USA. They're down here in Arkansas, Fort Smith. That's where they're at. Their factory's at. So that's how you can get a hold of one now. The cardboard box that it comes in is a nice, beautiful semi-gloss satin cardboard white. Under here is all the goodies. And actually, we'll go ahead and we'll do a video shortly on this and get it out to you so you can see it. There's the manual. They make these in stainless steel and black. It's not really a bluing because it's not fair to call it a bluing because it's not. It's a melonite. They took a lot of the stainless stuff and they did what they call a melonite finish on them. Now, that's what was really hard for me to find. I could not get one of these babies in that melonite finish. I saw a ton of them in stainless. My buddy and I, my best friend, we went out, and I tell you, we scoured the shops out here. We went everywhere trying to find one of these. We saw so many PPKs. I mean, all kinds of them. All of them in stainless. In fact, one shop had like 4 inter-arms stainless ones that were all the PPKs. And then every time we did find the new Walther, which is what I was after, it was in stainless steel. So after, you know, really, it just, and I even had a friend of mine shop look for me, and they couldn't find one either. So these have been out for a little while. They've been out. It's not that they haven't been out. They've been out for a few years now. Of course, obviously during the taping of this, we're in 2022. I believe these things, I first saw them, and actually I first saw them kind of hit around in 2019. So the word was, I kind of read a little bit of research on the forums and stuff where people were saying that they did. The first run, I think, was in the melonite black. Then they did stainless, and then I guess we're back into the melonite black finish. So I bet you now coming up. Now, of course, now that I had trouble finding it, and of course I had to go online and do the whole bit with Elk County ammo and arms, now that I'm going to see these everywhere. They're going to be all over the shops out here. That's just the way things go. But anyway, in this beautiful clamshell packaging, I swear I feel like James Bond opening this thing. So we got the flush magazine and the PPK itself. Gosh, this thing is cool. This is the old school original PPK. Black melonite finish. And I tell you, that's one of my favorite things about this is the finish on this thing. It just, I love that. Yes, it's not, you know, polished blue and all that kind of stuff, but there's something about this. I love this finish. Some things about it. I'm going to tell you that if you're concerned about how this is going to feel, because a lot of the modern stuff is like this, where it's got some sort of coating, Cerakote, gun coat, anything, melonite, nitrate, all that. I'm going to tell you something about this nitrate, or this melonite finish as they call it. It doesn't feel like there's a coating on this gun. It doesn't. You still feel the cold steel of it. You do. You really do still feel that feeling of that steel on there. It's not like it feels like that plasticky coating of the Cerakoting or anything like that. It doesn't have that feel to it. It does have that still like you're holding a blued pistol in your hand, like a nice blue pistol. All right. So the finish, and you can hear it. Just, you know, when I kept looking around for these, man, I just kept getting obsessed with the sound. Now, PPKs have always been just this tough little, tight little bulldog of a pistol. It's great stuff. Now, all in all, the romance here is simply James Bond. All right. Let's just get this out. The majority of the market, I feel, that are going to love these things and want them is like myself, where you're a James Bond junkie. Are there better concealed carry firearms out there? All that thing about function and this and that, and will it do this, will it do that, and all this kind of stuff. You know, really, it's, yeah, there is a million other better things out there, but the romance with this is the movie. James Bond. I mean, that's what it is for me. If it really wasn't for that movie, I really wouldn't have any interest in this thing. It's just strictly James Bond. That's what it's all about for me with this, and it's really cool to see. Now that we got that out of the way, it's really cool to see those roll marks. They actually say PPK. And then, of course, on the other side, you get the Walther banner, and it says Fort Smith, Arkansas on the other side there. Okay, the PPK, the difference is the grip. The grip is shorter. The grip is a lot shorter. They comes with it's a 6-round magazine capacity, and of course one in the pipe. If you want to do that, it gives you 7. And I believe the PPK-S holds 7 in a mag, 1 up in the chamber. The grips on the back do the standard wraparound here, and they're black grips that are actually screwed in. I'm glad that they didn't use, at least in mine, they didn't use the any kind of hex screw or something like that. It's a standard flat, flathead screwdriver. I'm glad about that. I really am. So with my hand, and I've got small to medium sized hands, with my hand with a flush magazine, which I like, okay, I'm only able to get two fingers on that. So just to throw that out there. With the extension, I can get all of them. All right. So the extension there, it does look pretty cool. All right. Now there's some things on it that they changed. For the most part, this PPK is all the same as the older one, if not better. And I know a lot of times people say, "Oh, well, they're never better than the old ones." I strongly feel this is way better. I had a friend of mine look at it. He was a big fan of PPKs. He had a lot of old ones. He said this is by far way better. And you got to think about it. The machinery, the machining process, the metals, and the way things are being done now, it's much more precise. Now, one thing they did was, and of course, it's kind of the elephant in the room with this thing. And I'll tell you, at first, I really was not sure how I was going to like it. I thought I was going to hate it. But they extended this into a grip safety beaver tail. And this is something that Smith & Wesson was doing when they were under license to make these things. This is what they were doing. So obviously Walther adopted it and went to that. That's to avoid you getting slide bite on your hand. Now if you have bigger hands and you are subjected to that slide bite, yeah, it can be bad. A buddy of mine got a real bad slide bite from a smaller gun, not a PPK, but one like it. He ended up in stitches, so it definitely can happen. Now, does it take away the lines of the gun? Not. I will say, I'm here to tell you, as somebody that's really into the original stuff, it does not. It doesn't take away. It's not that bad. It really once you actually have it in your hands for a while, you actually get used to it and you kind of like it. It does kind of add a nice little touch to it. When the hammer is down, that's what it looks like. It kind of folds right in there really nicely. So, trigger pull on this thing, okay? Make sure we're empty. No ammunition anywhere here. It's a double to single action. When you pull the trigger on this thing, that double action, there is no trying to set yourself up for this thing because of the way it operates. You just pull through it. You really do. You cannot sit there and try to stage this thing because it's not going to work. It's got a really tough, like a real tough start, and then it just pulls right through. It's like a trap door almost. So I believe the way this thing was made to do, what it was made to do is just grab it and pull right through it. That double action pull, and this is one of the things where it's basically telling you that, yeah, if you're pulling this and pulling the trigger, you are deliberate in what you're doing. After that, it's going to go into single, obviously, and what a great trigger. It got a little bit of creep, but again, all this stuff is really, I mean, I don't care. This is just the ultimate cool factor for me about James Bond. The sights are fixed to the slide. They are not, you cannot remove them. They are part of the slide. And of course the top of it has that traditional wavy flat top bar on the top. That's in all of them. They've all used to have that. One of the other big differences is the chamber there is blued. or melonited, and so it's all done up. So it's in 380 in case I haven't, in case. So far that's what they're making them in. They're in 380 and all that. So we'll get a good video close up of it. But man, I tell you, I can't tell you enough how excited I am to have this thing. 2 magazines. I'm really glad that they actually gave you these things in black to you, not stainless mags. They're black. I tell you, they really whacked it out of the park in my book for this thing. This thing is just cool. This is not something I'm gonna sell. I don't foresee myself selling it. This is something I'm gonna hang on to because it's just that cool. And I'm glad it's a newer one. It's what they're making now. And hey, my word is, and that's just how I feel about it. It's better than the old ones. I know some people are just gonna be, but take that with a grain of salt. And I mean, I know I'm a collector too, but take it with a grain of salt. This is what happens when you get stuff like this. It's not so much that the word is that they trash these things like the new Python or whatever, or the new PPK. What happens is you got collectors that have just wanted to hold on to the originals because of the money and all that kind of stuff that was worth. But now when somebody can go out and buy the new one for a fraction of the cost, that's what ends up happening. So it's just, I get it. I mean, I know, but that's why they're just hurt about that. So it's just gonna, that's a tough little call that they're gonna do. So I'm happy that they remake these things, and I'm really happy with mine. I can't help but feel like these new ones are just better made. I just gotta feel that way. I'm holding them in my hands. I used to have other ones, the older ones. I've had a couple, and one of them I had, when you fired it, the magazine actually would fall right out of it while you're firing. I was like, what the heck is going on? Upon research, when I researched it, it was actually a common enough problem, apparently, that other people chimed in on it, saying that you need to replace the magazine release. It's probably worn, or something's worn on it, or the spring at least. So, go down that rabbit hole and everything. It's wherever you want. But for me, yes, I did come across an original one from the 60s in a gun shop out here. It was a fairly decent price. It had some wear on it, and the slide, it was gorgeously blued, but I wasn't going to drop $1,200, or some of the other ones. If you look at like Legacy Collectibles, where they're, you're sitting out there. You basically got to have $3,000 ready to just throw down on one of these things. I was not that person. I did not have that kind of cash to do that. But $749 or $769, I believe it was, that I'll do. Ultimate cool factor. Anyway, go out, be safe.